All right, let's talk about a supplement that's been popping up everywhere online, GLUCO6. It's making some pretty big promises about a new way to handle blood sugar. So today, we're going to cut right through all that noise and figure out what's really going on with this stuff. So you've probably seen it and wondered, is this thing for real? Well, that's exactly what we're here to find out. We're going to break down the signs they're pitching, peek inside the bottle at the actual ingredients, and most importantly, sift through what real customers have to say. You're going to get the full picture. Okay, so first things first, what is GLUCO6 and why is it suddenly all over the place? So the company is really pushing this as a next-generation supplement. They're saying it's not just about managing the ups and downs of blood sugar spikes. Nope, they claim their formula goes deeper, tackling what they call the real root cause of the problem. So let's see what they actually mean by that. And that root cause they keep talking about? It all comes down to this one big idea they have branded as the GLUCO6 secret. Honestly, this is the core of their entire marketing pitch, so it's worth paying attention to. Okay, so here's the deal. According to the people behind GLUCO6, the whole issue starts with these tiny little things in our bodies called GLUCO4 receptors. The best way to think of them is like gatekeepers. They're the ones who decide when to open the doors and let glucose, sugar, out of your bloodstream and into your cells where it can be used for energy. Now, here's their theory. GLUCO6 claims that all the hidden sugars packed into our modern foods are just constantly bombarding these little gatekeepers. It's like a nonstop rush at the door, and eventually they get overloaded. This, they say, puts a huge strain on your pancreas and is the real culprit behind those frustrating energy spikes and the crashes that follow. So what's their big solution to this problem? It's a special ingredient called sucre. Now it's interesting because the information out there is a little vague on exactly what sucre is, but they're marketing as a kind of healthy sugar that can help relieve that pressure on the receptors, almost like it props the doors back open. And they claim they're the only ones on the market with this unique approach. All right, so the sucre ingredient is definitely the star of the show, but what else is actually inside these capsules? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the full formula. So they call it the Super 6, and the whole formula is plant-based and non-GMO, which is a big selling point for a lot of people. It's built around that main ingredient, sucre. But it's also got a team of other more familiar players, things you've probably heard of like cinnamon, chromium, and green tea, all stuff that's been linked to supporting metabolism for a long time. Okay, so that's the theory and the formula they're selling us, but here's the million-dollar question, right? Does it actually work? To figure that out, let's dive into what real people, the ones who have actually bought and tried GLUCO6, are saying. You see a lot of positive reviews that sound a lot like this one from John W. He says, "It gave me my life back." And that's a common theme, It's less about specific numbers and more about that feeling of relief. People talk about regaining a sense of peace and not having to be so anxious about every single meal. And this right here really paints the perfect picture of the two sides of the story. On the one hand, you've got people praising it. They love the unique GLUCO4 angle, the all-natural formula, and they report better energy. But then on the other side, you've got the criticisms, and they're pretty consistent. The high price, the fact that it doesn't work for everyone, and issues with things like shipping and refunds. Yeah, when you really dig into those complaints, a pretty clear pattern starts to show up. Most of the frustration isn't about the product itself causing bad side effects. It's more about the whole buying experience. We're talking shipping delays, the high cost compared to other options, and a refund process that seems to frustrate a lot of people. And of course, there are those who just felt the results were, well, too minor to be worth the money. All right, let's wrap this up with the buyer's bottom line. If, after hearing all this, you're still thinking about giving GLUCO6 a try, here are the essential details you absolutely need to know before you pull out your wallet. So, looking at the pricing, it's pretty clear they want you to buy in bulk. If you just get 2 bottles, you're paying a pretty steep $69 a bottle, plus shipping. But if you go for the biggest package, the 6-bottle supply, that price drops all the way down to $39 a bottle, and they throw in free shipping in the US. Big difference. Now, this is super important. It comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee, which is good, but you can only buy it from their official website. They are very, very clear about this. They warn that anything you see for sale on Amazon or in a store is probably a knockoff. So they're really pushing the idea that buying directly from them is the only way to be safe. So where does that leave us? After looking at everything, the claims, the ingredients, and all the user feedback, it brings up a really important question, doesn't it? When it comes to our health, can a supplement ever really be the whole answer? From what we've seen, it seems like GLUCO6 might be a helpful tool for some, but it's definitely not a magic bullet. Real long-term health management still boils down to the basics, diet and exercise. A supplement, even a clever one, can only ever play a supporting role.